This week on SailAway, there's a week of 25-knot winds blowing through, and we find ourselves bouncing all over the BVI in search of safe harbor.
Playing it by ear. We keep making plans and then we have to change them. Back out with the sail we go. One more time.
Luckily, we're going mostly the right direction. Yeah, it's this downwind stuff again. It's amazing. Those are some pretty substantial swells coming around there. But the intense winds and cramped mooring fields are becoming a problem.
So the wind's just funneling too much down this peak with only one motor. I don't think we can even grab the ball.
With our options running out, we take a chance on a favorite spot.
So we decided to just come on back over to Yost.
You know, it's going to end up the wrong place. The wrong place is going to be Yost.
But with the weather deteriorating, our respite doesn't last.
Well, it is 10 o'clock at night. We ended up dragging.
And we're forced to flee the anchorage.
So many mooring fields, and they put so many moorings in that it makes anchoring kind of dangerous.
And we still have to figure out how to get out of this harbor and back to St. John.
It's a lovely day in paradise.
I paid for a sailing vacation. We're going sailing!
Ever wish you could escape normal life and experience more of the world?
So meet me on that island.
Well, we did just that. We sold everything we owned on dry land and sailed away.
Promise me that we'll sail away.
Now we are roaming the planet in search of new adventures and sharing it with you every week.
Just promise me that we'll sail away.
So hit subscribe and escape normal with us.
And I'll be yours forevermore.
Come on, it's just that little button down there. That's it.
So we spent the night here at Virgin Gorda after snorkeling the baths. And as you can tell, it has been windy and there's just been some big gusts. They wrap around this hill here behind us, and so it was not the most comfortable night. And so Eric slept up on the couch and made sure that we weren't doing anything crazy, because at one point we were just spinning around. I think there's a weird current in here too. So we're discussing our next moves, because I don't think I can do another night here. So yeah, we're just playing it by ear. We keep making plans and then we have to change them. The weather forecast was only supposed to be like 20 to 21 knots, and now it's looking like 25 to 27. But luckily we are up at kind of the top of the BVIs, and so we could get some nice downwind sailing. So it should be good. But right now we got to figure out what we're doing. Only 10 knots. I don't know what you're talking about.
Our plan was to try to meet our friends on Kaizan down at Peter Island.
Straight there.
Even though we knew it was going to be pretty crowded and possibly tough for us to squeeze in.
We're being nose people today.
Oh yeah. Don't mind being those people on the BVI.
Yeah.
All those people are those people.
In 19, and that's just apparent, so
This is probably
24, 25.
Yeah, it's this downwind stuff again. It's amazing. So easy to forget how awesome it is not to sail upwind when you sail upwind for like 3 or 4 days in a row. I can get used to this. Even this lazy man's downwind sailing, I have no complaints about. When you got 20 knots of breeze and you're only going like an hour or two, why not? Keep it simple. You're moving right along. These seas and this wind would not actually be very much fun upwind. Downwind, it's lovely. Good work. there's some pretty substantial swells coming around there. I am guessing the baths are a little more like a washing machine today. That was kind of an adventure yesterday, just getting ourselves and rivers off the beach and back out to the dinghy because the waves were coming in so hard, and it's very rocky in there, obviously. Today, I bet you that swell wrapping around is even worse. I would not do it. We had an okay night last night. I didn't get a ton of sleep because I slept upstairs just to keep an eye on things. Man, it was gusty. It would drop down to like 5 to 7 knots and then just burst up to high 20s easy. I would say we probably saw some 30-knot gusts because they were strong. And so then all the catenary from our chain and the flex from our bridle would do what it was supposed to do and stretch way out, and it would sling us back like a rubber band. And so then we'd sit there in light to no wind with a bunch of slack. And then when the next gust came, we had a long way to travel before we hit the end of all that again. So there were some jerks and pulls here and there. And it never budged. But, you know, not my best night of sleep, but not my worst by far. And we are moving on, and things are going about as well as anybody could ever expect them to go on a Tuesday at 11 o'clock.
We made it to Peter Island, but this little bay is completely full. There might have been enough room for one more boat to anchor out, but it's deep and it's windy and felt too tight. So we're headed to destination number 2 that we don't know of. Where are we going now?
Go West End, go to Soper's Hole, hang out there for a little bit.
Back out with the sail we go. One more time. But we didn't have to jibe, so that was cool.
Yeah, that's our good. Up down, down, go around in a circle, put it up there.
Yeah.
Although the mooring field at Soper's Hole is very tight, we assumed it would be very protected from these winds. We were wrong.
We can do it, even with one motor. No, I don't. Yeah, blame the wind, not your head. Are we just grabbing a ball?
What?
Are we just grabbing a ball?
We can find one.
I mean, there's Little Yost, which is kind of tucked up in on Yost. So the wind's just funneling too much in down this peak with only one motor. I don't think we can even grab a ball, and there's not space to anchor. So one more time somewhere.
Yeah.
Here we are, back at Yost after a kind of harrowing sail. It wasn't that harrowing, it was just much longer. We actually made a really good time, but there wasn't room in the anchorage that we originally wanted to go into. Zeke! Dog's escaping. Zeke! Now! Then, so we decided to keep on going down. Since we were downwind, we went to Soper's Hole, but it was so windy there. So we decided to just come on back over to Yost. We weren't real sure about anchoring out there. We'd seen people do it before, but we'd never been able to. So that's why we're still over on this side. We can see Ophelia right from this beach. So we're gonna have our passage drinks right here, watch the boat and make sure that she is good. We dove on the anchor and everything. Shouldn't be a problem, but it's just a little windy today, so we want to make sure. Other than that, life is good. And a bucket of beer. Are we sitting at the table? Hey everybody, here's our passage drink for that craziness.
Yeah, it was average. Didn't go anywhere it was supposed to.
But we ended up here, so I think that is okay.
I'm good with you.
I know, if it's going to end up the wrong place might as well be you.
Well, it is 10 o'clock at night, and we're moving. Because as it happens when shit hits the fan on Sailboat, you don't actually get to see any of it. Because literally the 5 seconds that it takes to grab a camera and to try and do that, you could be in the rocks. We ended up dragging. Luckily Eric was outside watching because it felt a little funky. And Kara was here to help, so we were able to get it up real fast. We tried to re-anchor a couple times. We were out a little bit further, but there's a drop off and it just didn't feel like it would have been a comfortable night. So we are at Yost, wherever Foxy's Bay is. I think it's Great Harbor, but I'm not really sure. And then just one bay up, but kind of around is, I don't know, I call it Little Yost. I don't know if that's what it's really called. But it's a really lesser visited bay. So we're hoping that there will be some boaty balls there or enough room. And if not, we might head back to St. John's tonight. But we'll see. Yay, fun.
Boy, they may look like an average night on the boat and just your average normal anchorage / mooring field, and it is. It's just not the one that we settled down for the night in. Today has been different. We got a lot of wind happening last night, today, and then over the next 2 days, like 25 knots with a lot of gusts all day today. I mean, we were sailing in anywhere from 24 to 30 knots downwind, luckily, and had awesome sail, but that makes pulling into the anchorages that much more dicey. Again, especially with just a single motor on a catamaran, because it really affects our maneuverability. And with wind on the nose like that, everything I do left and right, that wind affects the pull of the boat and how much I can control it. It's not great. After our experience with Yost, the beginning of the week, we decided to just go ahead and anchor out along the outer edge where several boats had anchored kind of out beyond where you think would be the good anchoring spot, but several of them had made it work. So we got anchored there. There's a little spot, it's like 20 feet deep. I swum, dove down on the anchor. It was hooked in pretty good behind a rock. It's a lot of like sand, rock, coral, old dead coral chunks, you know. And it was dug in pretty good. It seemed to be holding well. We were getting gusts of about 25 at the time. And we sat there all evening, had dinner, and then we were just sort of hanging out watching TV, and some big gusts were coming through, and it just didn't feel quite right. I could see Lauren's eyes popping, and I was feeling it. So I just hopped out here and I sat on the stern seat and put my foot on the bridle and was just feeling, and right as I was sitting there doing it, it started skipping and sliding, and we were straight up, we're dragging. Not fast, but it was sliding. I'm like, all right, we gotta reset. So and the little spot we were in drops off. So again, kind of so. And both times that we set, it just would not grab in. It's so crusty down there. And then tonight it's supposed to jack up even higher winds. We took off and motored over here in the dark. Thankfully, it's full moon. Never been in this anchorage before, but we got in here and managed to spot several free mooring balls, the first come first serve ones, and Lauren's a freaking mooring ball goddess.
Not really. I missed it. The first
Well, you missed it because I had to come in.
in the middle of the night and we can't tell how.
Right, it's the middle of the night and we're close to these other boats, and there's a lot of shoreline really close to this mooring field. And so with the gusts coming through, again, with my maneuverability, I don't want to push my luck anywhere, and I didn't know if I'd be able to get turned around without hitting one of these boats or hitting the shore, and I didn't want to risk it. So we're going downwind, and I just sort of turned to the left a little bit and went right at the ball, and I was coming in way too hot and didn't realize it, and so Lauren couldn't get a hold of it. And so I pop it in reverse, and we're spinning around. The ball's under the boat between the hulls, and I'm just trying to get spun around to get out of here. And all of a sudden I hear Lauren say, "Got it!" And I'm like, shit! So I start like trying to stop the boat and trying to give her some time, and she got it hooked up, and here we are.
We weren't yelling at each other. We were yelling to communicate, but it was definitely not a smooth.
It wasn't smooth, but it wasn't. I mean, I've seen far worse in broad daylight.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But can we talk about how BVIs, there's so many mooring fields and they put so many moorings in that it makes anchoring kind of dangerous. Like there's just no room. It's not a cruiser's place anymore.
It's just not.
It's a vacationer's spot. So as long as you know that you're going to come here and you're going to spend $40 to $50 every night on a ball, I just don't think it's feasible to anchor here unless you're like so far off the beaten path. It's like, why are you in the BVIs?
Right.
Anyway, PSA. There's my.
It has just become a vacation destination for charter boats, which is great if that's what you're doing. And how many people have we told, like, if they want to start or want to think about doing this, come here, charter a boat, and go just do that kind of thing. Get used to operating a big boat. It's an awesome place for that. Like, all your anchorages are so close together, and there are beautiful things to see, but dude, it's expensive. So yeah, if you're like us and you just live on your boat and you just want to come over here and enjoy it for a while, you got to really scour to find the places that you can anchor for free without drama.
We've been here twice, and we've now drunk 3 times.
Yeah.
Twice in Yost and once in Road Town. It's just,
you know, all the area where there used to be good holding is full of mooring balls. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're on the outskirts, you're on Rocky, you're in the drop off, you're in. There's just no. So anyway, we're disenchanted by the BVIs. And it was our mecca, and it's just not living up to its hype anymore.
But when they can make $55 a pop every night, that's what they're going to do, and they will.
I'm not mad at them. It's just you have to come over here with the vacation mindset.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not you come over here and sit on a mooring ball for a week and do work and live and whatever.
Right.
You grab a mooring ball, you go to the next place, you grab a mooring ball, you go to the next place.
So here we sit on a mooring ball.
Yeah.
At least we can have a nice, peaceful
Passage
night. And a passage drink.
This one was deserved. Some of our passages are not as deserved as others. This one was deserved.
It was one of the shortest, but deserves a drink most of all. All right. Cheers, guys.
It's a lovely day in paradise. No matter what what, we gotta check out. Well, maybe I'll duck down. Anyway, we gotta check out. We gotta get Kara back to St. Thomas, or at least the U.S. Virgins. So I think we're all gonna check out and go back to St. Thomas. I think this has been good for us. It's kind of proved that we have done a lot of the Caribbean and we're ready to see more of the world, and once we leave here we won't feel like we missed out on too many things. There's definitely some islands that we didn't get to, but we still have some time in the Caribbean. But I think, yeah, I think the Virgins have been explored and it's time to explore somewhere else.
But the squalls just kept blowing in on top of the sustained 20 to 25 knot winds. We literally had to wait for a 30-second weather window just to leave our mooring ball, just to ensure we weren't blown backwards into the boats behind us. We've made over 2,500 miles of passages with only one motor. But these are the situations where it can make things difficult, and we have to use extra caution.
What a lovely day for a sail. Somebody's got to get back to the airport. Alright.
A lot of charter captains out there yell at their wives right now.
I paid for a sailing vacation. We're going sailing.
That's what Kara yelled at us. She was like, we need to go now! Let's go! Sail a boat!
I want to sail the BVI. And I got to sail the BVI.
You did. You got to sail all the conditions in the BVI.
Yeah. It's a light wind.
Yeah.
And it's heavy wind. We went upwind. We went downwind.
You went overboard with your chunks.
Yeah, that was
We may have been out in 25 knots of wind, but once again it was downwind, and that makes all the difference. In no time, we were safely back in the lee of St. John. Hiking and hiking and hiking and hiking. The sisters are way ahead. So this is the trail right off the beach at Honeymoon Beach on St. John, which is just north of Cruz Bay. I think we hiked one of the trails. I have memory of that. Lauren doesn't remember doing it. I think we did it with Bo and Brandy a long time ago. I could be completely crazy. Regardless, we're doing it today. But this trail takes you all the way up to the top of this little mountain. It has a really awesome view.
I remember though that they have a cat that can swim in water.
No. Scott and Sam's cat, Lupe. Fruit bat. They're looking for a new boat. Hurry up, guys. Crossing the Atlantic next year. You can be ready by then, can't you? This is a lot of what people come to St. John for. The park system has so many cool trails all over St. John. We've only done a little bit of it, but these trails crisscross all over St. John. And they're really nice. Good boy. Check on everybody. Everybody's A-okay. if we did indeed go on a hike with Bo and Brandy or somebody, it wasn't this direction. It was up to more of a higher point and more in the woods. So, I might be imagining it.
We didn't go on a hike with them, Brandy.
I swear we did.
No, we watched them go on a hike on one of their videos.
And I just feel like I was there.
And it was
Looks so peaceful from up here.